Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul Reese, also known as Dude, and I'm going to be playing today with a brand new KORAIDON team. I just built this team and I think it's really fun. Like, this team is around the KORAIDON with the sun, allowing a lot of different partners, and it has a Charizard on it. So, you know, if you like this content, please show your support by leaving a like on the video. And obviously, I really appreciate if you can consider subscribing to the channel. That helps me a ton because I'm beginning from scratch this new project in my English content. And I really appreciate if you can help me grow the channel for sure. Okay, so let's talk about this team. This team is based on KORAIDON, right? Like, KORAIDON is the centerpiece of this team because it provides sun to enable other partners. So what is KORAIDON? KORAIDON obviously is a dragon and fighting type physical attacker. Is really powerful. It has access to Collision Curse, its signature move, which is a fighting type move that does a lot of damage. It's a 100 base power move that has a unique mechanic that increases its damage output by 1.33x, so basically 33%, if it hits the opponent for super effective damage. So basically, in other words, anything that is hit super effectively by this thing is usually going down because it is so powerful. 100 base power that becomes 133 base power if it hits a super effective. It hits for super effective an opponent. It has its unique ability that sets up the sun and also increases its attack stat by 33%. A lot of modifiers, a lot of multipliers here, but that's how the Pokemon is designed. Similar to Miraidon on the special side, KORAIDON on the physical side. It is a dragon and fighting type that usually doesn't need dragon moves. That's the case for most physical dragon types. They don't need their dragon-like stabs. They are fine with the secondary typing and any kind of coverage move. So KORAIDON is no exception, has Collision Curse as I said, but it also has access to Flare Blitz and Flame Charge. Both are fire type moves that can be really powerful in the sun, and also can be even more powerful if you Terastallize KORAIDON, because KORAIDON is a Fire Terra type. So Fire Terra type obviously is very straightforward because it resists Fairy and Ice type moves that KORAIDON is usually weak to because of the dragon and fighting type combination. And it also boosts your Flare Blitz to like ridiculously high level. So Flare Blitz, Terrifier in the sun is just super powerful. Flame Charge is a very interesting move because it's very weak, but it increases KORAIDON's speed by 1 stage once you use it. It is 50 base power, but if you didn't know, there is a mechanic with all the, let's say, weak base power moves with Terastallization. Basically, if there's a move that has less than 60 base power, that move becomes 60 base power when the Pokemon is Terastallized, if the Terra type of the Pokemon and the moves type are the same. In this case, Flame Charge is a fire type move. KORAIDON's Terra type is a fire type Terra, so if you Terra KORAIDON, Flame Charge becomes 60 base power and not 50 anymore, only while you are Terastallized. So that's a mechanic that happens with any move that is weaker than 60 base power, basically. So Flame Charge becomes obviously a step if you Terastallize. It also gets this extra boost from 50 to 60, and it's also boosted by the sun, so it's relatively powerful. It's decently powerful, but obviously it's not going to OHKO things. But if something is, I don't know, 30%, 40%, you might consider, and it's obviously neutral or weak to Flame Charge, you might consider that instead of Flare Blitz, because that gives you a +1 speed boost for free. But yeah, it's a very strategic move because it allows you to, you know, plan ahead of, you know, what kind of speed boost you need to go for, and just to keep control of the pace of the battle. And Protect is self-explanatory. You want Protect so you can reposition with your partners. Clear Amulet allows KORAIDON to be immune to Intimidate and any kind of drop like Icy Wind, Parting Shot, or Electro Web trying to drop your speed. That's not going to happen with Clear Amulet. This KORAIDON is jolly. It's not max speed. It hits 190 base speed if I remember correctly. I decided to speed creep, you know, some neutral speed Flutter Manes or Chimpows or Miraidons. They hit 187, so I decided to go a little bit higher than that to 190. And it is very bulky. It is not max attack. It has quite a bit of attack investment, but it's not max attack. It has a lot of bulk. The idea of this book is that you can survive a Glacial Lance from Colorix Ice Rider Most of the times, I think I made the roll like 18% chance to one hit KO your Koraidon. In other words, 82% chance to survive, and it also has a really high chance of surviving a +2 max special attack Astral Barrage from Caloric Shadow Rider. I think it rolls around 25% or 31%, something like that. But all things considered, I wanted to have Vulcan Koraidon because I think it's really useful for this Pokemon. You don't need that much attack investment, in my opinion. You hit super hard. And one of the ideas of Koraidon is not only to do damage, is to enable also strong partners. And that is the reason why we have a lot of strong partners here. We have Fluttermane, which is obviously a fairy type that synergizes really well with the dragon type that Koraidon is. And it has access to a couple of interesting elements here, like for example Icy Wind. It is a Focus Sash variant. I decided to go with Focus Sash instead of something like a Choice Specs because I wanted that extra security that Fluttermane can stick on the field a little bit longer at the cost of some power, but I was okay with that. Photosynthesis to increase your highest stat during the sunlight, and this Fluttermane is timid max speed, so it would increase its speed stat to be +1 during the sun. That is very useful because you can use that to activate, Icy Wind for the team, the Icy Wind support, or just be faster than a lot of threats and pressure them with a Moonblast or Shadow Ball. It has Protect because obviously that's important to reposition. It's Seraph Fairy for increased damage if you really need to get that extra level of power. Now, Charizard was a very interesting decision here because usually people put Chi-Yu here, but I wanted to try Charizard for a couple of reasons. Chi-Yu does not resist Fairy. Koraidon is weak to Fairy. Fluttermane is neutral to Fairy. I was thinking on Raging Bolt and Umbreon, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So I was like, okay, I think I need a Fairy resistance, first of all. So I was thinking on other mons, like Entei, for example, but I decided to go with Charizard just because it's cool. Like, it hits really hard, it's cool, and it has a very interesting niche here because obviously Solar Power increases Charizard's special attack stat by 1.5, and it makes Charizard to hit basically equally as Chi-Yu. Like, I made some calcs, it is virtually the same damage output as Chi-Yu if you factor the Solar Power during the sunlight. And it has obviously a flying type as well, which is, I think, very useful in some scenarios because being a flying type means that you resist fighting moves, right? And you're also good into grass and you're immune to ground. So I was like, okay, Charizard might be useful. It has almost the same level of power as Chi-Yu, and it has the same speed as Chi-Yu. And it's not a dark type, so you don't have the immunity to Prankster and whatnot, but it is very cool, and I wanted to have something a little bit different, so I was like, okay, Charizard should work here. And I decided to pick this moveset, Flamethrower, Heat Wave, Overheat, and Terra Blast. There's a reason for like triple fire move on a Pokemon like this, of course. You want Heat Wave sometimes to be able to hit both opponents. You want Overheat when you really, really need that extra, damage. You want to nuke something with Overheat in the sun. It's just super powerful. And then Flamethrower when you just need to clean the game and you don't want to risk missing. You just have like a consistent damaging option with Flamethrower. And then Terra Blast Ground is because obviously Miraidon exists, and Raging Bolt exists. So with the Choice Scarf, you can pressure them for a lot of damage or even one-hit knockouts. I was thinking about Scorching Sands, but unfortunately Scorching Sands is 70 base power, so you don't actually get the KO on Miraidon with the Solar Power Terra Ground Scorching Sands. It is a roll, and I didn't want that, so I decided to just go with Terra Blast, even though Scorching Sands doesn't necessarily force you to Terra in other scenarios where you need the ground move. I was okay with that because most of the times you're going to be clicking fire moves with Charizard anyways, and the times you're going to be clicking the ground move, probably you really want to Terra just to get that extra, extra punch. So yeah, I was okay with it. So Terra Blast Ground is to Oko Miraidon during the sun, at least the standard Miraidon. Obviously, if you're facing a Salvus Miraidon or something like that, you wouldn't probably KO, but to the standard 4 HP Miraidon is a guaranteed Oko. And yeah, so it is modest max speed, max special attack, basically. Pretty simple. Ogerpon, also another Pokemon that is just straightforward 252 on speed and attack. It's Jolly nature. It has a standard moveset, Ivy Cudgel, Horn Leech, Follow Me, Spiky Shield. I decided to go with Horn Leech instead of Power Whip, just because I dislike the accuracy of Power Whip. I prefer something consistent that I know it's going to do a little bit less damage, but it's never going to miss. So I prefer that. And Ogerpon was picked here because it it is a Pokemon that doesn't necessarily benefit from the sun. It's probably the only Pokemon that doesn't benefit from the sun in any kind of way in this team. But it has a very interesting typing that I think synergizes well with the team idea, because it deals with obviously water types and deals with fire types, because sometimes you struggle to do damage to fire types or to Terra Fire Pokemon, like a Terra Fire Koraidon, for example, or a Terra Fire Calyrex Ice. Having a rock type helps you a ton to be able to pressure fire types that would otherwise resist your fire moves or your fairy moves. And Calyrex Ice Rider especially is weak to rock because it's an ice type, and if they tear into fire, it's also weak to rock anyways. And if they tear into water, then you have your grass moves like Horn Leech, and it's good into other water Pokemon as well. So I decided that Ogerpon Cornerstone would be best in this team. Also has Sturdy, which it's basically another pseudo Focus Sash that would be really good to have some extra longevity on the team. Raging Bolt is another Pokemon that is self-explanatory. It is a Dragon type, synergizes really well with the Sun composition because it has access to photosynthesis as its ability and is really, really bulky. But I decided to go with something slightly different. I decided to include Weather Bolt in this Raging Bolt because of, Sun boosted Weather Bolts from Raging Bolt that is actually really powerful. It has photosynthesis. It's just ridiculously powerful. You can Oko Amoonguss. You even can Oko Calyrex Ice Rider with Weather Bolt in the Sun. I made the cog, and it's with the special attack investment that I have, it is a 50% chance to Oko max HP Calyrex Ice Rider with Weather Bolt, which is honestly amazing. It has Electro Wave and Thunderclap to provide some utility for the team. Electro Wave for speed control. Thunderclap, obviously, is its signature move. Pressures with priority. And then Draco Meteor for other dragons. It is Terra Water instead of something like Electric or Fairy. I initially had Fairy, but then I decided to change it to Water because it's better in the Calyrex Ice Rider Trick Room Rain matchup, because you want to resist both Glacial Lance and Surging Strikes. So Water is better for that. It also gives you a option to have Staff, Weather Bolt, Water type Weather Bolt in the rain if the opposing Pelipper sets up the rain for you. So I felt, all things considered, it was really good type for a Raging Bolt in this kind of team because it allows you to resist the ice types and the water moves that are usually a problem for a team like this. And then Umbreon, the last member of the team, I think is really useful in some specific matchups, especially like very defensive teams or Trick Room slow teams, because it has safety goggles and inner focus, so it cannot be flinched by fake out, it cannot be redirected by rage powder or put to sleep because of the goggles, and it has access to taunt, so it can be very disruptive, stopping Trick Room setters with taunt, can be annoying against special attackers with Snarl and physical attackers with Foul Play, and has Moonlight, which benefits from the sun because during the sunlight, Moonlight recovers 75%, which is huge in a Pokemon like Umbreon that is very, very bulky. During other weather conditions, it recovers only 25%, so you have to obviously play smartly with that. And during no weather, it recovers 50%. But I felt Moonlight was really good on a bulky Pokemon like Umbreon in a team like this. And it's Terra Poison to obviously resist Fairy and Fighting type attacks that it is usually weak to. And also Bug. So yeah, that's the team, guys. You have the rental code up there if you want to try it by yourself. You also have the Pokepaste in the description. Let's play some games with the team and let's have some fun today. So we found our first opponent of the day from 314. It is actually a Samosanta team. We have Samosanta, Chien-Pao, Grimmsnarl, Urshifu, Rillaboom, and Tornadus. I imagine that Urshifu is water, and I imagine that Tornadus has Rain Dance. Okay, so let me think. How do I want to approach this? So obviously I want to bring Koraidon, but I have to be careful with the Urshifu Torn mode. I think Raging Bolt is an okay lead here to pressure Urshifu and Tornadus. Obviously I have to be careful with the Chien-Pao. Do I want to bring Flutter Mane here? I think the answer is yes. There are 3 weaknesses to Flutter Mane, and we have Focus Sash, So I was thinking something like this, and maybe Charizard is the last one. Or do I want to bring Ogerpon? I don't think Umbreon is good in this matchup. But I think Ogerpon might be okay. Because we have the Surdy, we have Follow Me. But maybe I want to bring just Charizard just for extra ways to hit the Samacenta. Maybe. Yeah. I'm okay with this. Let's begin. Let's see. Our opponent has a lot of interesting things. It has both Tornadus and Grimmsnarl. 2 Prankstermons. I don't know if they're going to bring both to the same battle. Maybe sometimes you can argue that like you can make a case for both, but most of the times I imagine is one or the other. You bring Tornadus to matchups, you don't bring Grimmsnarl, but let's see. Obviously, I have Koraidon, so they might want to bring Tornadus because of the Rain Dance, and there it is. There is a Tornadus. So I'm going Fluttermane, Raging Bolt. Honestly, you know something that I can do is just switch Fluttermane into Koraidon and go for a surprise Weather Ball. Like, Samacenta is not going to spec that, I promise you. I can also Electro Web, Icy Wave, or something. But honestly, I want a Weather Ball. I want to get that surprise KO. Do I go for it? I think I do. I'm gonna go for it. Because the opponent currently doesn't have any reason to go for Rain Dance. Because I didn't lead with Koraidon. So I imagine they're just gonna go for a Body Press into the Raging Bolt, which I should survive just fine. Or maybe a Steel type attack into Fluttermane. Let's see what they do. They're going for a Terra, which is interesting. The Tornadus is going for a Terra into Steel. Okay, just to not be weak to Raging Bolt. That makes a lot of sense. So what are you going for? Are you going for Tailwind or just Bleak Wind? Tailwind, okay. That's okay. I imagine Body Press. Oh, Heavy Slam into the Fluttermane slot. That's huge because now you're gonna die to this Weather Ball. I'm almost positive this is a KO. Oh, that is an extremely bulky Samacenta. Or maybe that's just like a normal damage. I haven't cocked it, honestly. I only made the calc against Calyrex Ice. I can Thunderclap here. I can Thunderclap. But that's so obvious, they might just switch here. Honestly, I'm gonna Thunderclap and switch into Flutter. I want to cog this. I honestly want to cog this. So it's Samacenta. Let's put like max HP. Rain Dance. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Are you gonna go for a Iron Defense? Maybe they're going for Iron Defense. Yeah, they're going for Iron Defense. That's okay. That's okay because I'm gonna pressure you regardless. So yeah, Weather Ball was not gonna KO if there were like 100 special defense. So they're max HP. So that's just like expected. I guess I should have considered that. Okay. So now I'm going to Thunderclap again, and I'm going to go for a Moonblast Shadow Ball into the Tornadus. My opponent is pinned. Like, yeah, you're going to go for the Wide Guard just to avoid the Thunderclap. I'm okay with that. I'm honestly okay with that. Now that he went for the Wide Guard, I can double that slot because I didn't go for a double because he could have gone for Protect. But now that he went for a Wide Guard, going for a Protect is basically the same as trying to go for a double Protect. So that can fail. So I'm just gonna Thunderclap and Shadow Ball that slot now. So the way it works, like if you protect first, then you can wide guard next turn, fine. It's never going to fail. But if you do the opposite and you wide guard first and you try to protect after, it can fail because it's considered as a potential double protect. Okay, so they switch. So why did you go for the Iron Defense then? I don't know. You would have swapped earlier. Blink Wind. Shadow Ball into that slot. So Samosenta's in the back at like 1 or 2%. Tailwind's still up. No, Tailwind is gone. So I'm going to Electro Web here. Or honestly, I can Weather Ball and switch into KORAIDON, I think. He could go for an Aqua Jet just to keep trying to avoid the Thunderclap, which honestly, I don't care anymore. I just want to get rid of these Tornadoes. Even if he goes for like a close combat or something, I don't really care anymore. Yeah, there's the Aqua Jet trying to avoid the Thunderclap. Bleak Wind connects on both with no rain. And Weather Ball just KOs the Tornadoes. Yep. That's why I like, honestly, Weather Ball and Rage Ball is so cool. You have a lot of options, like things that you wouldn't normally be able to hit, like Amoonguss, like Steel types, that much. You can with Weather Ball. Obviously, in this team. Okay, what's the last one? Chien-Pao. It is Chien-Pao. It is Chien-Pao. I have Charizard in the back. I don't plan on Terraslicing Charizard. KORAIDON is unfortunately very weak. So I think I'm going to Terra and go for like Electro Web. And I'm going to Collision Curse the Chien-Pao. Switches out into Samosenta, which is like what? That is like 2 or 3%. I'm gonna tear the Raging Bolt here. Unless they go for Icicle Crash and flinch me, I should be okay. Or if I miss, obviously, Electro Web. But I don't know if that Chien-Pao is Adamant. If it's Adamant, I should be faster with KORAIDON. Let's see. I am faster, so it's Adamant. So I should pick up a double knockout here. Unless something weird happens. Went for Crash, so he could theoretically flinch me. No flinch. And I pick up a double knockout with Electro Web, so that is GG. Because the last one is Urshifu, and I can just easily pin it with a Thunderclap and a Collision Curse. So if you try to Aqua Jet to avoid the Thunderclap, you're gonna get KO'd by the Collision Curse, so GG. That was a great game. It was fun. It was really fun. Let's see what the opponent does. I just hope he didn't Rage Quit or something. He's taking his time, I guess. But yeah, honestly, like the game just went as planned. Charizard didn't even do anything, but I had it just on paper to clean the end game. And that turn 1, I decided to take the risk because I'm using something that is a little bit unconventional on Raging Bolt, like Weather Ball. So the opponent is just not expecting the Weather Ball turn 1. And I knew they had Rain Dance just because of the team composition. So obviously they were expecting me to maybe lead with KORAIDON to use the Rain Dance. Because I didn't lead with KORAIDON, they were just probably not expecting to just go for Weather Ball immediately, so they didn't feel the need to go for Rain Dance right off the bat. So that's why I decided to take the risk. The battle was cancelled. GG to our opponent. That was a fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed this game 1. Let's go for game number 2. And we have our second opponent of the day. We're playing Shanks from 1537. Let's see what he's using. Shanks is using a Miraidon team. Miraidon with Chiyu, with Iron Threats, Farigiraf, Tornadoes, and Urshifu. Again, we're facing for the second time in a row a Tornadoes and Urshifu, just in a different composition. I have to imagine that is Urshifu Water. And I would expect Tornadoes to maybe have Rain Dance. It's a little bit weird to see Miraidon with Tornadoes, honestly, but it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but you typically expect Miraidon with Whimsicott. But it's Torn Urshifu, so I imagine it should be Water Urshifu with Rain Dance, but it could be Dark Urshifu as well, I guess. This is tricky because I want to lead Raging Bolt, but obviously they can Draco me if they just lead with Miraidon and switch into Flutter, I suppose. I want to lead with KORAIDON and CHARIZARD, but what if they just lead Turn Urshifu? I have to go for it, I guess. And for the last one, I think I'm going to go with Flutter this time. No Ogerpon. I usually bring Ogerpon to this kind of matches, but they usually don't have Turn Urshifu. So I want Flutter because Flutter, if I position Flutter in the sun, I can maybe, you know, get like Moonblast on the Urshifu. It is Focus Sash. I can outspeed the Chiyu. That Chiyu could be Choice Scarf. So Ogerpon is going to be outsped. So let's see. I'm going to try. Let's see. Do you go Turn Urshifu up front? No. Now, the issue with this lead is, okay, it's Modest Miraidon because the sun activated before the electric terrain. So I am faster. If they have Rain Dance, they're just going to go for the Rain Dance, right? I'm still going to go for it, but I'm not expecting this to KO. But let's go for it. That's why we have the Charizard. The Block Charizard that is coming from my Generation 6 games. I think it was Pokemon X. Yes, directly from the Kalos region that I shiny hunt back in the day. So Charizard is Terra Ground with Terra Blast. Let's see what the opponent does. There are a lot of options they can go for. There are Terrasalicense, so are they going for an Electric Terra or are they maybe a different Terra type? Let's see. They are a different Terra type. Okay, so I'm not KOing them. They're Fairy Terra. Just not the end of the world, I guess. Let's see if they go for Rain Dance. I'm expecting a Rain Dance, to be honest. I'm expecting a Rain Dance. Yeah, there's a Rain Dance. It's so obvious that they have Rain Dance in this composition. So this Terra Blast is going to do nothing. I imagine like 30%. Honestly. Charizard is weak without the sun. Yeah. Not even 30%. They just went for Dazzling Gleam. Okay. That is bad. That is extremely bad. That is Choice Specs. That is very concerning. Because now all you have to do is Tailwind Dazzling Gleam and it's GG. I have no switching. So yeah, that was literally the worst case scenario. There is no way for me to know that. There's no way for me that you're like Dazzling Gleam Terra Fairy specs. There is absolutely no way. So yeah, this is a pretty easy play. Just Tailwind Dazzling Gleam. It's over. It's so over. So there is one play I can make, but I'm just hoping that my opponent misplays, which is bringing Raging Bolt and going for a Electro. No, Thunderclap. Or maybe I go for a Electro Web, but I don't know if I'm gonna survive. I might survive. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Because I was thinking switching Flutterman immediately into Koraidon so I can activate the Photosynthesis. And with Photosynthesis and Electric Terrain, maybe Thunderclap gets the job done. But honestly, it's very healthy. Like, Miraidon didn't even take 30% from the Charizard. So, okay, so they're going for the switch. That's smart. They're trying to cover... This should be Iron Threads, right? Oh, it's Chiyu, actually. Oh. That is actually better, because now Tornado should die. Tornado should die, unless I miss, but... I was gonna say, that did more than what I was anticipating, so that was a crit, of course. Oh, it is Focus Sash. That's why they made that play. Okay. Makes sense. Focus Sash, Rain Dance, Tornadoes. They have 2 more turns of Tailwind. I have Koraidon in the back. I can switch here. And just go for Thunderclap. Could also switch out into like Raging Bolt into Koraidon, give Flutterman the speed boost. But I think Chiyu might be Scarf, so it should still be faster, even if Flutterman gets a speed boost. I have to make this play. Unfortunately, I'm not going to KO the Tornadoes this turn, no matter what happens. But I'm okay if I at least get rid of the Chiyu. Maybe they go for Rain Dance here. They just went for Protect. Okay. Thunderclap should be enough. Yeah, because of the double modifier. Like, I have Sun and Electric Terrain. So this Raging Bull is just hitting like a truck now. However, they're going to bring the Miraidon. I still think I should survive. Maybe not, because now, because of that, yeah, I'm not gonna survive. I think. They're gonna rain. They have to Rain Dance here. I mean, I'm gonna try. Yeah, that crit from the Bleak Wind actually matters, because I'm cocking it here on my computer, and it says that the minimum is 168, and I have 166. Yeah, there's a Rain Dance. So if the crit didn't matter, I had a chance of surviving this. But because of, if the crit didn't happen, sorry, but because of the crit, I am now not going to survive anymore. Unless something weird happens and they're not max special attack, but should KO. Yeah. A freaking Bleak Wind Storm crit matters so much, because it did like 166. So I had 219, 166. That is 25%. So the move did 25% factor in the crit. Without the crit, that would have been what, like 16% ish. Yeah, 16%. So I would have had 84. 84% is 184 HP, and that was around a 50% chance of surviving, or maybe 43% chance of KO. Let me put it exactly here. So Dazzling Gleam would have been a exactly 50% chance. Exactly. If it was, you know, if the crit didn't happen. But the crit happened. So it is Pokemon. it is Pokemon. What can you do? Now he just goes for Tailwind, and Miraidon is able to outspeed me no matter what, and click the Dazzling Gleam. So GG to our opponent. Obviously, I wasn't expecting a Terra Fairy Specs Dazzling Gleam Miraidon, but even with the Terra Fairy Specs, I managed to bring it back, and if it was not for the Bleak Windstorm crit, I probably had a chance of winning the game, still winning the game. So that's what matters to me in this case. So GG to them. Let's go into our game number 3. We found our third opponent of the day, a Japanese player from 1584 rating, and it's playing with a Calyrex Ice team with Landers, Incarnate, Pelipper, Urshifu, Fairygraph, and Regieleki. I don't like this team. Honestly, I was practicing the other day with the team, and I faced a team like this, and it was Jolly Choice Band Calyrex Ice. Because it outsped my Raging Bolt. And the only way you do it is with Jolly Calyrex Ice, max speed. Well, not max speed, but Jolly. Adamant cannot outspeed it, so it has to be Jolly. And if you're going Jolly, I imagine you're max speed. And it was Choice Banded. So, it is a fast Calyrex, the one that I faced. So, I don't know if this is exactly the same. But I have that feeling because of the Regieleki. I could be wrong. Okay, so how usually against Calyrex Ice teams, what I was doing with this team is either leading Umbreon or Raging Bolt or both, and pressuring them with a Terra and switch into Koraidon. I think I'm just gonna do it anyways, but there is a Landers, so that is tricky. But I can Water Bolt the Landers, I suppose. And I'm going to go for Ogerpon or maybe Flutter Mane. No, I think Ogerpon or Flutter. Let's go with Ogerpon. Okay, this is a tricky matchup for sure. Like, as with any Calyrex Ice team that has a, let's say, non-standard composition, it is weird because on the ladder, obviously, people try to innovate a little bit, or let's say, try to just surprise the opponent with things they're not expecting. That's the nature of the ladder, and it has always been like that. They led with Urshifu and Calyrex, actually. So my Umbreon is CV to survive a close combat from Adam and Urshifu always. They have Fairygraph, so they can switch into Fairygraph if they're expecting the Thunderclap. I am gonna go for the Weather Bolt play anyways. Switch into Koraidon. Let's see. From what it's worth, they can also coach in with Urshifu if they have it, just to avoid the Thunderclap and make the Calyrex even stronger. But let's see. Let's see if they switch. They're not switching into Pelipper. Now the question is, do you outspeed me with the Calyrex? Are you Jolly, Choice Band, or something? And do you have Regieleki in the back? They are terrestrializing into what? They terrestrialize into a water type in front of Raging Bolt. That is crazy, my friend. That is absolutely crazy. There is a coaching. Yeah, so bye-bye, Koraidon. I'm sorry. That is absolutely crazy to me. That did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. However, I can Electro Web now and Foul Play, and that should be enough to pick up the KO because of the Chilling Neigh boost that he got. I think. I am going to Electro Web and Foul Play you. That is crazy to me. He just went for the Terra Water. Okay, he's switching out into Fairygraph, Pelipper, Regieleki. Pelipper. Okay. So let's see if they protect. No protect, so Electro Web. This might not be enough, honestly. It was enough with the Sun Boost, but because of the rain, yeah, it is not enough. Bro. You have Seed Bomb. Are you Assault Vest? Like, actually, it did so little damage. The Weather Bolt. It might be Assault Vest. Yeah, it's GG. Now I lose to Urshifu. Urshifu just cleans the game. If I lose Regible, I lose to Urshifu. This thing is definitely Assault Vest. Now that I think about it. Yeah, it's whatever. That's unfortunate. But I knew something weird was going to happen when I saw the team on Team Preview, honestly. Like, why do you have Regieleki? Why do you have Farigiraf and Rain with Regieleki? Like, this is a little bit weird. It might be weird. So that explains a little bit more why he went for that Terra Water play turn 1. It was Assault Vest. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to be weak to Raging Bolt, but I'm going to be able to take it just fine. And unfortunately, he had Seed Bomb. And it had Regieleki. It's crazy. It is honestly crazy. It had Seed Bomb. Yeah. He just Surgeon Strikes the Ogerpon and just can do whatever, honestly. I'm just going to forfeit. There's no point in wasting more time. GG's. GG, GG. I knew it. Like, I knew something weird was coming when I saw the team comp. But yeah, it is a ladder. So, cool team. Let's go to next game. And we found our next opponent of the day. Another player from Asia, and it's another Calyrex Ice Rider. Okay. This is a little bit bad. I'm not going to lie to you. By the way, I just cocked it, and that Calyrex Ice Rider is 100% Assault Vest, the one we faced. It's confirmed. I just made the call based on the Weather Bolt damage and the Electro damage. That is Assault Vest. So, yeah. It was a little bit of bad luck to face an Assault Vest Seed Bomb Calyrex Ice, to be honest. Okay, so we are facing another Calyrex Ice, but this one has Lilligant Torkoal and Incineroar and DD with Hatterene. So, how do we play? I wouldn't be surprised if this Calyrex is also Assault Vest and has maybe like a Sand Headbutt or something weird because of the team comp. It also has Lilligant Torkoal. I have Umbreon, which is immune to Sleep Powder, but I'm still weak to close combat. And they have... They can even go Insane. How do I lead here? I want to... like, a part of me wants to lead Umbreon, honestly. I want to lead Umbreon with, like, Charizard or something. Why not? And then I'm going with Raging Bolt and KORAIDON. Yeah, let's go with KORAIDON. So no Ogerpon, which is... it's weird because the opponent has 3 rock weak Pokemon. Like Torkoal, Incineroar, and Calyrex, but I just felt like I needed the others a little bit more. I could be wrong, and maybe I should have brought Ogerpon, but I don't know. I just felt like it is a weird team. I have... and like even the Lilligant, like you can just follow me the what's it called, the After You or the Sleep Powder. There's a Lilligant. Oh my god. I am not happy to see this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am not happy, but it is what it is. He could have led Calyrex, so 11 DD, so that's why I led with Umbreon. But it's just not good. It's not good. So I'm gonna try to taunt. Honestly, maybe I should just Gnar here and go for like Heat Wave. He might just go for the Sleep Powder. Yeah. So at least I get the Gnar off on the Torkoal. and I have a chance to waking up next turn. Sorry, Charizard. So we break a potential Sash. We crit the Lilligant, I guess, but doesn't matter. Eruption. That feels like Specs, but could also just be Charcoal. Now you close combat into Umbreon, and there is not much I can do other than going for a Terra and maybe going for a Moonlight. I have to. I honestly have to. Oh, he's switching out the Torkoal into Indeedee. Yeah, I just went for the Terra Poison because honestly, it is the best I had at the moment. Like, I cannot be put to sleep because I have goggles. Maybe he tries to put me to sleep and he risked the Umbreon not being goggles. But honestly, if I was him, I would just close combat exactly the Umbreon. So I just take it and I recover back to full health. And if Charizard wakes up, it does wake up. Let's go, Charizard. That is so much damage. That is so much damage. And I just go for the what's Citrus Berry? It is a what berry? What is going on? And I just go back to full health. Imagine the last one should be Calyrex. Is it Calyrex? Bro. Bro, you have to be kidding me. You didn't bring Calyrex to this game? I cannot even taunt the Hatterene because it has freaking magic bounce. I'm gonna snarl, I guess. It's over. What can I even do? Oh man. I don't know. Follow me, yeah, whatever. Please don't miss Charizard. Wait. Is Snark gonna be enough? I doubt it. Oh no. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. 3 Merchants of Psychic Terrain. He's just gonna go for like Terra Fire, Torkoal or something. Wow. Look, that beautiful damage from the Hatterene. That is 1%, maybe 2%. I guess Faplu would have done more damage. I don't know. Yeah, he just expanding forces here and I lose. There's nothing I can do to stop that, unfortunately. That is crazy, man. Like, I was playing all the entire game as if the last one was a freaking Calyrex Ice Rider. And this opponent said, oh no, too much fire. I don't want Calyrex to come here. And I guess Brock's to them. Protect. Why would you protect? I mean, your option is going to destroy Umbreon for sure, but... Oh! I was expecting that to do more damage. It's like, it's freaking Terra Fire. So, yeah, I mean, I don't understand the protect. Honestly, I am not sure why the opponent went for protect on Hatterene. You should just attack with expanding force. But I'll take it. One turn of harsh sunlight. Oh, maybe I should have brought KORAIDON. I just need to KO the Hatterene. Maybe it is life for Hatterene. He didn't want to like take the recoil and die that early. Maybe. And I'm just going to Wither Bolt the Hatterene. That's my guess. Please, Umbreon, I need you to survive this attack. No, it didn't survive. And that was a crit. Oh my god. That's my luck, guys. This game is terrible. Like, survive with 1 HP and it crits at -1. Yeah, and I die. And another crit! Wow. Please be Life Orb. Please be Life Orb. Thank you. Thank you. That is the only explanation why you went for the protect the previous turn. Honestly, that is the only explanation. You were Life Orb and you didn't want to lose the Hatterene that early. That makes total sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is why do you get double crit in the same turn? It's just not... It's not fair. But yeah, whatever. Boy, do I have bad news for you. I resist your eruptions and you're -1. I just beg you to not crit me. It has Earth Power. Okay, so it was not a Specs. Yeah, that was not a Specs damage on the Umbreon, honestly. Is it -1 or -2? It is -1. Yeah, so we should win here, right? Eruption. That's around 30%. This shouldn't KO, but it's enough to put in range of another one. Trick Room is over. And oh boy, that was a game. The battle was cancelled. Like, were you expecting to KO a full health KORAIDON with -1 Torkoal? Really? Why didn't you cancel the battle the previous turn? Like, yeah, okay, whatever. GG to our opponent. That was a fun match, and honestly, you know, roller coaster of emotions for sure. Let's get... let's finish the video there. I think 15 minutes, it's probably enough. I would have liked to play another game just to maybe finish the video with a positive record, but like 2-2 is fine. So it was fun, which is what I really honestly care here, like, for the content. And I think we got some really cool battles. Regardless of the losses, I think it was a very good video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please show your support by leaving a like. And most importantly, please help me to grow my channel by subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate that a ton. And yeah, let's continue with this team in another video next time. See you guys. Bye bye.